Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Unleashing AI Innovations, What You Need to Know Now, February 2026. I've been traveling the world helping people leverage the power of AI, and I've been to a lot of events, and it seems like there's a lot of AI presentations and AI masterclasses, and I've been doing AI masterclasses now for almost 3 years. And what I want to say is, even if you've joined me before, this is the right one you need to be on today. And if you're watching the replay, this is the one you're going to want to watch. And of course, I hope you bookmark this. You will get the replay and you can watch it over and over and slow it down or speed it up to the sections that you want. But as we start today, and I was planning this presentation, I was thinking, how am I going to do this a little bit different than what we've done in the past? And I thought what would be really important would be to share the biggest problems out there right now. And that is that AI isn't going to save you. It's going to expose you. That's right, everybody. I've seen too many people jumping into AI and they think it's the next thing that they're just going to do and they overdo it. And so I want to start this presentation today by saying we're going to cover 3 parts. We're going to talk about the pitfalls and what you really need to be careful from a strategic position. And this is for business owners, entrepreneurs. I've got franchise brands, I've got franchisors, I've got private equity group. I have other fellow speakers. I saw you in the list here. So I want us to rethink how we approach AI. And so, yes, I'm going to get strategic, and yes, I'm going to get tactical. I'm always about that practical, timely, topical, and relevant content that you can use in your daily operations. But I want to make sure that we start with the mindset piece first, because just like in my accelerated growth system, which is mindset, strategy, and tactics, if you don't have your mindset dialed in, all the training in the world won't help. So I want to start with this first part, which you got to be careful about this. So here's the first thing. If you're not good at your role right now, AI is going to make you a lot worse. And AI doesn't fix incompetence. It amplifies it. So if you're not good at what you do, guess what? AI is going to make it worse. And then, of course, if your strategy was unclear before AI is actually going to scale that confusion. If your messaging was weak before, AI is going to scale that noise. And I see that so often. I do these hot seats for people and I ask them on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your level of expertise with AI? And they're like, well, I consider myself an 8 or a 9. And I'm like, really? Yeah, I can write the best prompts in the world. And I'm like, okay, well, let's take a look at what you're doing. And I'll open up their phone, or if they have their laptop with them, and I look at their settings and they don't have their default settings. They haven't set custom instructions. They haven't set up custom agents. And we're going to talk about that today, the next level of AI. And so I'm like, they think they're higher than they are. And so and I say, show me some of the content you're writing. It has 75 emojis and 16 M dashes, and it's completely AI detectable. Well, if the content that you're creating with AI is completely AI detectable, and the search engines, which are all AI engines now, read that AI content, they're not going to give you authority and credibility. So as we start again today, some of you may have joined this late. We're doing this one a little differently. Everybody who registered does get the replay. So just know that you will get the replay, because people are like, I want to watch it again. You can, don't worry. And I know we've had hundreds of people that signed up. And of course, you get about 50% people show up live, and then they watch the replay. So the biggest caution is, again, if your messaging was weak before AI, it's still going to be weak. And here's an important lesson. If your leadership lacked discipline before, AI is going to multiply that inconsistency. So again, this is not a technology revolution. AI, and to leverage AI properly, you have to change your mindset and your performance revolution, because that's what this is about. It's not about technology. It's not about the newest, craziest tool, because every presentation I give, and I just got back from Dubai doing 3 keynotes over there to a franchise brand, I can tell you, everybody in the audience, well, have you used Notebook LM? And have you used this tool? And have you used a Claude bot? And have you, don't get seduced by technology. There's no shortage of tools out there. We're going to go into some tools today. Don't worry. We're going to get there. But I also want you to make sure that you're looking at this differently. These are powerful tools. They're going to help you accelerate growth in your business and in your operations. Here's something really scary. And I know some of you have seen some of my master classes or keynotes before where I've mentioned this, but it's worth bringing home. The most dangerous users on this masterclass today and in my live events, when I do live events, is those that are either totally confused or the ones that are dangerously overconfident that they think they've understood AI. Now, I've already spent the first 6 minutes, so I saved time. I didn't even play my intro video. If you're interested in learning more about me and you're new to me, just go to ProfitRichResults.com, watch my demo video, and my introduction, you'll find out who I am. But I wanted to get right into the content today. So I know you, a lot of you on this list. I'm looking over here at my other monitor. So just full disclosure. So this is my setup. So this is me live. Hey, that's my other camera over there. And so, yeah, I should probably tuck my shirt in. Oh, well, let's get on moving on. So this is live, everybody. I see too many people that are just using AI, but they're not really using it correctly. They're using it fast and they're not being better at it. So these are the last 3 cautions before we get into the actual strategies and tactics today. So I want to caution you. If you move fast with AI and you haven't set up standards, especially standards in your business, you're going to make a lot of mistakes and you're going to cause brand damage. If you go too fast and you automate processes, AI is great for automating processes. You can save tons of time and create workflows and automate your technology stack, move data in and out, analyze data, write code. But if you do it without clarity and testing, you're going to cause a lot more confusion. And lastly, there's a lot of organizations that are delegating their thinking to AI without strategy, and that's going to lower your leadership. The real currency for all of us here today on the call and anybody watching the replay is developing our human communication skills. AI is going to take millions of jobs. It already has taken millions of jobs. If you're working this for a company, I'm not saying it's going to take your job, so don't get scared. You know, I've been saying this for 3 years. AI is not going to replace humans. It's going to replace humans that aren't using AI. And now I'm going to say effectively. I used to say just using AI. So this is about how we think differently. So in the first, 8 minutes, what I really wanted to share with you is just be careful as you approach AI that you're not just going too fast. Make sure you keep the human in the loop and you look at the overall human experience. AI is a great tool. It's not a replacement for everything. It should be used, and we're going to show you how to use it, whether you're new or whether you are one of those dangerously overconfident people. And I should have said this before. I will take time to look at the questions in the chat. Please use the Q&A down below. Enter in the chat. Devin, my producer, is managing the chat. So as the chat messages pop up, I'm not watching them. Devin can jump in here anytime. She's got full control, everybody, and she can interrupt me if there's something I need to see that's in the chat. But I want you to be taking notes and thinking about how you can actually apply this in your business and in your role. So here's the essential mind shift. Tactics without mindset and strategy going to create chaos. And too often I go into organizations, I do the hot seats, I do high-end consulting, one-on-one transformations, and I look at what they're doing. And the problem is they'll all argue for their limitations. They're all going to tell me, yeah, I've got it all figured out. I can't tell you how many coaching clients, and I don't think this one lady's on the call, but she's like, oh, I'm an expert in AI. I've got my own AI agent, and I've done all these things. And I went and looked, and she didn't even have her default privacy settings set up and everything. She was doing high-end sales training, and everything she had that she'd been putting into AI was used to train the AI model, because in her privacy settings, it said, use my data to train the AI model. And I showed her, I said, look at this. Her initials are SJ. I said, look at this. You're all the data, every proposal you put up there, every spreadsheet you put up there, all that data has now gone into the large language model, into the public atmosphere. And so again, whatever level you think you're at, thank you for joining. The people who get the best results are those that are coachable, they're open-minded, they're critical thinkers, they're proactive, and they're accountable for their own performance. I'm responsible for everything in my life. I've made bad decisions. I've made good decisions. I'm human like anybody else. the more I know about AI, the more I know I don't know. Okay, everybody. So let's not compare and measure. Well, I know more about you than you. Look, it's about how do we add more value and make a profit, whether you're in operations or accounting or finance or leadership or team building or communication or change, whatever the role is that you have, AI can help you, but you want to also develop the human skills. So what AI should do is should take some of the busy work out of your day and allow you to have more time for personal connections. And so that's the real power. The real power of leveraging AI is using it to save time and make better decisions and write code and all these things that it can absolutely do. But the real power is when you use your human experience to really elevate that. So that's where, oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Devin, for clapping. So that's just so nice, all of you, to give me some applause. Okay, moving on. Oh, what's this? What are you doing
Hey,
here?
let me jump in for a minute. Yes. Hi, I'm one of Ford's AI agents. And no, I'm not here to replace Ford. I'm here to multiply him. Because AI video isn't about being flashy, it's about being scalable. While other leaders are still debating whether AI feels weird, you could be creating training that runs 24/7, sales messages that personalize at scale, content that works while you sleep. That's leverage. AI video protects your time, extends your presence, and keeps your message consistent without burning you out. The question isn't, is this real? The question is, how much influence are you leaving on the table by not using it? All right, that's my cue. Thanks for letting me interrupt. You're in good hands. Back to you, Ford.
Oh, I just don't know what I'm going to do. Now, obviously, you've seen AI videos before. I'm not going to do a bunch of gimmicky AI videos. Yes, it can speak in any language. And yes, you can use dogs to talk and cats to talk and people and aliens. Look, the important lesson here as we roll into this is how do you leverage your time? And AI video is the future, not just creating AI scripts and AI avatars, but it's looking at things that you do on a repetitive basis. So think about your organization, your business. What is your role, right? You're either good in one of three areas. You're either good at delivering the product or service. So yes, let's hit the up button on that, the ding. Yes, we all should be good at delivering our product or service. So now it's how do we use AI to create content, whether that's sales content, marketing content, training content, onboarding content for new employees, standard operating procedures, whatever it is, sales messages, upsells, check-ins. If you look at the whole journey of your role and you look at all the things that you have to do in your role, and then you look at what's repetitive, that will help you create a matrix of, wow, these are the gaps. This is where I could use AI. And then the next question I want you to ask yourself is, well, how can I use video to do that? So that video that you just saw was created in about 3 minutes. I just went to ChatGPT and said, I'm doing another masterclass. I want my AI avatar agent to jump in and interrupt the presentation and leave a valuable message about the power of video. It wrote the script. I copied it from ChatGPT. Obviously, I had human oversight. And then I went to a company, a program called HeyGen. I'll talk about it later. I'll pull up a slide real quick. Let me jump forward to it just so I pull it up for people that are like, what are you talking about? It's this one right here. So this is the company that I use. I'm also an ambassador for them, full disclosure. This is an affiliate link. If you do sign up and get something, I think I get token points for, creating videos, but I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it because this is the best tool that I've seen. Now, we could argue all day long that there's other tools out there, and there are more AI tools right now than I can possibly even discuss. But what I want you to be thinking about is how can you use AI in operations and AI video in operations, in marketing and sales, and with customer experiences. And that's where I want to move forward. And I appreciate all of you who took the surveys. Many of you filled out the surveys. Many of you went to the AI quiz.profitrichresults.com and filled out the survey to find out what archetype you were, whether you're an AI novice or an AI whisperer, whatever level you're at. So now that we've got the premise, we're right on time for my presentation today. We're 15 minutes into the masterclass. I've cautioned you. I've explained that you have to keep the human in the loop and that you have to have a strategy about this. and not to get seduced by technology. And then I echoed the fact that it's really important that I think you should consider creating video, because that's the way a lot of, or that it engages more of your senses. Because when you use video to communicate, just like we're doing here live, I mean, you guys could all read a book. There's thousands of books on Amazon on AI, but you've decided to join a live masterclass because it's more engaging, because it has your senses, your sound, your hearing, no smell. I did take a shower today, but anyway, let's move on. Let's call that a brain fart. Okay, here we go. So the next piece to cover are the pitfalls, because I have all these organizations on here that are looking at how do they do this? Well, this is what you want to avoid. We already covered the strategies, checkbox on that. Not setting up your defaults. So here's your action step on every program you're using. I don't care what it is, Claude, Perplexity, Copilot, Gemini, Grok, whatever tool you're using, please just go to your settings, read the screen, and look for anything that says, use my data to train the model. Or just go to ChatGPT and say, I'm using these technologies in AI. How do I protect my data? And AI will tell you how to protect it, which of course, use AI to solve AI problems. That's, really becoming common sense and common practice. Shiny object syndrome. That happens every time I speak. Oh, have you seen this new tool? Have you seen this new tool? Look, there's no shortage of tools. Start simple, get complicated later. Another pitfall. Garbage in, garbage out. You're creating a prompt and your people say, well, I tried AI and it just sounded like AI. Well, the reason it sounded like AI is because you didn't train it. If I went to work for any of you that are here today, and I went to work in your businesses, you'd have to train me. You'd say, here's our brand standards. Here's our ideal client. Here's our core competencies. Here's our products and services. You would train me. Well, you have to train the AI. So when you're doing a prompt, and we'll cover briefly on that, how to get more out of AI. And then these last pitfalls. Sharing private data. Again, that goes back to the privacy settings. So when in doubt, leave it out. If you don't want it to be known, you can't think it or say it, because I don't know. I think our phones are tapped into us right now in our AI, because I can be thinking about something, watching a TV show or something, and then I open up TikTok or Google and I see an ad for what I was thinking about. And I'm not, I wish I was kidding. I'm not. And so I don't know what it's tapped into, or maybe I'm an alien. I don't understand it, but I'm just saying that our devices are listening all the time. You need to teach your employees that they need to act as if they're being recorded 24/7. We've all seen what happens on, if you look in the news or social media. I mean, I'm very careful because I sometimes can use some colorful language, and I have to be careful that I don't have a Tourette syndrome rant when something happens during an event, because I'll never be able to do another keynote again. And I love being a keynote speaker. I'm in the Hall of Fame, one of, I think, over 200 people that are still alive in the Hall of Fame. So obviously I need to be careful, but teach your staff thank you for clapping. Teach your staff that they're being recorded 24/7. I mean, there's recording now in glasses, our watches, our devices are listening to us. Alexa, play dance music. There, I just turned all your devices on. So again, just be careful. Gosh, just be careful. Oh, now my device is working. That's great. Alexa, stop. Crap, it was in the other room. Oh, crap, it really is playing. Alexa, stop music. Let's move on, everybody. And the last two cautions, of course, are not training the AI model or lacking human oversight. So those are the main ones. So yay, we move on past that. And I don't know, Devin, if you can hear the music in the other room, you let me know, because it's loud as right now. And I can't believe that I started that. And I don't want to stop in the middle of this live presentation and walk into the other room and turn it off. So we're just going to let the music play, and here we go. So people always ask me, okay, Ford, how do I actually implement this into my organization? Some of you have seen some of this before. It's a quick review, building your AI literacy in your organization. AI training isn't something you did, it's something you do. So you need to be consistent in your training. The next two are empower champions on your team. Look at who in your organization is already using AI effectively and encourage them to be part of a committee or a team that you can do it. Make whatever tools you're using accessible. It's common when I go in to speak to an organization that they say, well, Ford, we use the enterprise version of Copilot. That's all I want you to talk about. Great. I certainly will. But keep in mind that people are probably using other tools beyond that. So make all the tools that you're using accessible. So if it's Copilot or ChatGPT and set the boundaries. Communicate and collaborate. So make it AI part of the conversation. So when you have a challenge in your organization, maybe you're in a meeting, one of the questions might be, well, how could we use AI to help us solve that challenge? And then lastly, make sure you set acceptable use policies. What's acceptable use? Can they use it? Can they use it to write social media posts? Can they use it to formulate emails? Can they use it to write Google reviews? Can they use it to do those different things? Ask yourself, do you have the AI standards in place? How are you going to measure AI ROI? How are you going to review AI output? And are we just experimenting? So these, again, very basics. I'm actually 7 minutes ahead of schedule, so we're good here with those basics. Now, I know that you guys are going to have questions. So please enter the questions in the bottom. And when we get done, we're going to go the full hour here. Full disclosure, we'll see what time it is here on the clock. So it's 10:23 Pacific time, and where I'm located in Las Vegas. And then at the top of the hour, we'll stop and I'll continue answering questions for you. For those that stick around, AI is so multimodal now, and I still see people only typing into AI. So I hope you encourage you and you understand that you can take photos, you can talk to it. It can see, it can speak, it can hear, and it can write. So you've seen me, if you've been in my live keynotes, you've seen me where I bring somebody up on stage and I say, okay, translate to Russian. And when I speak English, convert it to Russian. And when you hear Russian, convert it to English. So AI can be your translator. Now with earbuds, I don't have them right here. Now the earbuds can translate in real time. You've got Meta glasses that can see things and signs and change it in real time. So AI is much more than just on a browser. It's integrated into almost everything now. It's integrated into our cars. It's integrated into most software companies now. Anybody who sells any type of SaaS software, AI is built into it. So AI literacy is really important, but just realizing that at the end of the day, AI is really a toaster on autocomplete, right? It simulates human behavior. And we could get into the whole agentic AI and is it sentient, which I believe it is. But for our purposes in business, unleashing AI innovations for business, it's how do we use it for business to expand our influence, to increase the average transaction by how do we add more value, by increasing repeat or referral sales. How do we use AI to build our referral network, to make connections with our influences in our market that can refer business to us, and with our customers to become advocates, to improve the net promoter score if you use NPS. And then the last way of accelerating growth, of course, is to improve operational performance. And I use AI now. I have digital agents for my speaking business. I have all of my key significant emotional events over my lifetime into a database, along with the signature stories and what key points that it makes. And then after I get off a pre-event call with a client and they tell me their outcomes and their objectives and their conditions of satisfaction of this is how we're going to measure success at the conference. If you're the opening keynote speaker and there's 2,000 people in the room, this is what we expect. Well, then I take that transcript into my digital agent and I say, this is what their outcomes are. It has all my keynotes, it has all my stories in it. And I said, help me create a flow and a narrative that matches what they want most closely. Now I'm still going to, prepare the presentation and decide what I want to do. But because all my stories are cataloged and all the length of time is cataloged and all the key points that story can make is cataloged, AI helps me look through that inventory and remember stories that I might have forgot as I prepare. That also helps me because I'm frequently brought back in repetitively over time. Anytime Fitness brought me back 7 times. Gold's Gym, I just happened to think of 2 fitness companies. They brought me back 9 times, 9 different years. Brands bring me back over and over again, not because they want to hear the same story of how I climbed Mount Everest, but they want to learn how they can actually take practical information and solve their biggest challenges. Well, because I have all those keynotes recorded and I record all my presentations, I can use that the next time I'm preparing for the second event. That way I can make sure I'm not covering the same story that I covered in the first one. So if you didn't hear all the things I'm saying, I use AI to make what I do better and more practical and more powerful. But at the end of the day, it's still me. It's still my heart. It's still my essence of doing all these presentations. So it's multimodal. So just ask yourself, are you using it? Have you downloaded ChatGPT on your phone? Hopefully you have. I know we do have some new people here. I'm not going to do a big demonstration, but I'm just going to open up ChatGPT. And so this is just ChatGPT on my phone. I'm just going to hit the microphone button. Hey, you there?
I'm here. Let's get right into it. What do you need?
Hey, I'm doing a live AI masterclass right now, and I've got hundreds of people here. And I just want you to say hi and say something about whether or not you think AI is going to take over the world.
Hey, everyone. Glad you're diving into the AI discussion with Ford. Here's the deal. AI is not here to take over the world. It's here to augment your capabilities. The real power is in how you use it. So make it work for you.
Okay, tell them thanks.
You've got it. Thanks to everyone for listening, and I hope you get some game-changing insights. Keep pushing forward.
Okay, that was pretty good. Now I want you to say thank you in Mandarin, Russian, and Japanese.
In Mandarin, 谢谢你们. In Russian, спасибо вам. And in Japanese, ありがとうございます.
Okay, again, simple party trick, but just imagine how you can be leveraging AI. So I recommend that you speak to it and use it. Now, I know that some of you are going to be like, you're going to do prompting insights. It's 2026. People know how to prompt. Okay, but I'm still going to do it for those new because I looked at the survey results and we did have some people that are still in the newer end. So this is going to be quick. Think of AI as having a complex conversation, just like I just showed you, as opposed to just answering a question. So here's your prompting formula. I'm putting it on the screen. I'll put it full screen so everybody can see it. Very simple. Every time you use any AI tool, this is my check method. Context: who, what, where, and when. Expectations: what do you expect? Make sure you have a conversation. And number 4, keep the human in the loop. Now you saw me do that. I picked up my phone, I turned it on. I said, hey, I'm doing an AI masterclass. That was context. Then I said, I want you to, and I just made something up off the fly. I want you to tell, is AI going to take over the world? I gave it a question, and then I interrupted it and I questioned it. And then I said, say thank you. So you can see that it's a conversation. So there's your prompting techniques in 30 seconds. The next tip is to use AI or use your prompt in different models. So you can use it in ChatGPT. So what I'll do is, these are the large language models that I use most frequently. The top row are the ones that I use almost daily. ChatGPT is my main workhorse. Now I got AI talking to me. That's really great. This is fun today. Okay, turn that off. All right. I use Perplexity as my main research tool because of all the sources it goes to. If you're new and you haven't used Perplexity, put that as an action step, because soon I bet you're going to start using Perplexity more than you'll use Google. Perplexity has a lot more sources. Claude does the best programming for me and writes the most authentic, non-AI detectable content. So in Claude, I've uploaded all my books. I've got a protected space that I use. And when I need to write any articles or lead magnets or promotional materials, I use Claude. And if I take it and I take that content and I go to an AI detector tool, the one I use is called Quillbot, Quillbot. Again, I'm not endorsing any of these companies. The only company that I said that I get a commission on is Hey Jen, if you click my link. But, that's not a big deal. But the reason I use Claude is because it writes the best content because I've trained it. So it's authentic. And then I get credit. So when I'm doing social media posts, or I'm writing blogs, or writing articles, or in media releases, I get the most bang for the buck. Copilot is built into all the Microsoft products. Gemini is built into all the Google products. And then, of course, you got Elon Musk's and Twitter, or excuse me, X, Grok. There's all different types of tools. These are just the large language models. There's hundreds of thousands of AI tools, but the prompting secrets that we just covered a minute ago right here will work in regardless of what tool you're using. So as a strategy, I'm going to perform the prompt in one tool, and then I'm going to take that same prompt and I'm going to put it in some of the other tools. And then I'm going to synthesize, I'm going to bring all that data back into one tool and use it into one tool to get the best answer. It's no different than having a committee, right? It's no different than having a board of advisors. Well, now you can effectively have AI board advisors that can do each thing. You can have a finance, an accounting, a bookkeeper, HR. Full disclosure, I usually say that this presentation and all my presentations are for educational and informational purposes only. I'm not giving you legal advice. Okay? There we go. Moving on. Now, I know there's always a few. Take a quick screenshot of this. If you're new, you can go here. There's nothing to buy. It's where you're going to get, it's actually after you opt in, you're going to get the AI prompting video. You're going to get the video replay, which everybody already has. You don't have to go here if you already are registered. But I also have an advanced video on how to automate and dominate processes and how you can use AI for workflows. So I tossed that in just because people are like, wait a minute, I didn't get to see the prompts. Can you go back? Now you can go back. That music is freaking so loud. Frickin's a technical term for those of you who don't know. All right. So get AI on your phone. We already talked about that. Get ChatGPT, download it. Look for the white logo, not the green logo, even though their company logo is green. In the App Store and in the Google Store, it is the white logo. So make sure you're actually using the right app. And yes, you can have the same account that you use on your desktop is the same one you use on your laptop. So I recommend, individuals pay the $20, or at the time of this recording, that's what it is. Pay the $20 month to month. Don't pay any annual subscription unless you know you're going to use the tool for a year, because things change so quickly. If you're in a team environment like I am, I have an agency called Prime Concepts Group. We use the team version. That way, each of our staff can have their own ChatGPT, but then we can collaborate on chats and use digital agents together. It's very powerful. That's $25 a month per person, minimum of 2 people to have that. And then, of course, there's enterprise versions. If you're a larger company, most likely, if you're a larger company, check in with your company because they probably have the enterprise version. And anything on the paid or on the team or enterprise automatically sets your defaults to keeping your data private. The $20 account doesn't. The $20 account says, by default, use my data in all the AI models. Now, I know you're going to have questions. Type them into below. So let's move on to the next piece. If AI can't find you, now we're switching to more of the business role. If you have a business right now, the cost to acquire a customer has skyrocketed. No longer can you rely on Google to send you organic search listings because Google is now an AI overview. So if AI can't find you, that means ChatGPT, Perplexity, Copilot, Claude. If they can't find you, then you're going to become obsolete. So if I went to Google right now and I typed in how to make my garage a man cave, we've all been to Google lately, I'm sure, and you see that no longer do you get organic results. You get an AI overview, and then you can say see more. So the top of Google is now dominated with AI overviews, and occasionally there'll be some sponsored ads depending on what you search for. But our whole role as I'm going to address everybody as business professionals. Maybe you're doing this because you want to be a better parent. That's great. I'm glad you're here. But as we go through this next section, it's really more about the business of it. And so AI has disrupted everything. Buyer behaviors have changed. Attention is harder to capture, and your content must evolve. That's why I said use more video. Again, I'm going to be doing an event here in Vegas that's coming up in April 10th and 11th, where we're going to do a hands-on interactive workshop. Bring your laptops, and we're going to actually create AI video. We're going to create AI workflows. We're going to create digital assets. it's going to be hands-on because people are like, hey, I love these master classes, but I just want to work one-on-one with you. And if you go to my website and you look at the pricing to do that, I mean, it starts at 15,000. So obviously I need to offer a way as a group. So if you're interested in that, stick around to the end. Yes, I'll have a discount code. No, it's not an infomercial, but I will give you an opportunity if you want to be one of those lucky few to be in the room with me for 2 days, hands-on, working with your laptop, cutting years off your learning curve, and actually creating the agents live, not talking about it, building them, creating the workflows live, and creating AI video. Those are the 3 things that we're really going to work on, and creating the systems so that you can do that. So to get found in the search engines now, and I say search engines and AI engines, you have to think from using SEO, which is still useful. You know, some people say SEO is dead. No, it's just the way SEO is used is dying. But people are still using Google. There are millions and millions of searches on Google. So don't just give up on your content. But I want you to be thinking of answer engine optimization. I want you to think about how can you create content that's going to get cited, the AI responses in AI and in Google Rich Snippets. So if I, for example, if I just open this up now, I haven't programmed this. This is just ChatGPT. I'm just going straight to ChatGPT now. Let's do a test. If it doesn't work, well, it's kind of like that music that's still playing in the other room. You know, we'll just deal with it. I'm going to hit chat, new chat. Okay, let's see. Let's look at one of the attendees that's here today. I have to switch over to Zoom to get the attendee list up. Here we go. Let's go with, Marilyn Sherman's here. Okay. Oh, really, Marilyn? Really? You're here? Okay. Well, I've never done this before. Let's turn this on. Hey, are you there?
I'm here and ready. What do you need?
Hey, so I'm just curious. You know, I've heard about this keynote speaker. She's in Vegas. She's got, I think it's front row branding and, upfront presentations. I want you to tell me what her brand is, but I want to know, would she be good to open up my keynote, or would she be good to open up my conference of business owners? Marilyn Sherman.
Marilyn Sherman is known for her front row philosophy, which encourages people to get out of their comfort zones and aim high. If you want your business owners fired up about taking action, she'd be on brand.
So AI knew who she was because she's got her Front Row Friday videos and she's got her blogs and she's also a Hall of Fame keynote speaker, which is why I looked at the list and I was looking to see who I could recognize. And obviously I know who Marilyn Sherman is. So let's move on to this and show you how you can do this. So here's what you want to do. You want to make your website AI discoverable. You do that by your content doing answer engine optimization. You do it by using Robots.txt, which I'm going to show everybody how to do that in just a minute. And then you do it by adding Schema Data to your site. Now, this is a little bit technical. Take a drink of coffee, take a deep breath. I'm putting it in the video because if you're in business, you need to make sure that your organization does this, or your website is going to become obsolete and you're not going to be findable. Using AEO content on social media will help you get found in the search engines, but your website is robots.txt and Schema. Those are 2 things that you really have to do. So I'm going to put this full screen. I know it's hard to see on this Google monitor, but most of you, I would guess, and we're going to show you how to find out, is your website friendly? So I did a search. This isn't Marilyn's website, everybody. Let that go. This is a different website. So I went and searched and it said, Google ad bots is disallowed. Mobile is disallowed. Bard is disallowed. Perplexity is disallowed. So if you go to like my website and you search this, so right on the screen right here, you see profitrichresults.com, which is my website, /robots.txt. You can do this for your own website. You need to make sure that your website is acceptable to be read by the AI bots. If it's not, then ChatGPT and AI large language models can't access the content. Yes, they can access content that's sometimes indexed in Google, but it's going to prevent you from getting as high rankings as you have. So your action step, robots.txt, that's a little complicated, and then your schema data. Your schema data is data that sits behind the website to help AI and search engines understand what the content is about. It's hidden. So when you look at a website, you see the visuals that show up on the screen. The code behind the scenes is called schema Data. It was most popularly used for local businesses, like a restaurant that would show their menu and their calorie counts and their photos. And so you've all been to Google when you look at something and you see a bunch of enhanced content that comes from Schema Data. Now we're 40 minutes into here. We got a little complicated, but that was just the first part. I just want to make sure that you know if your website's not findable in AI, you're not going to be found at all. So it's really important that you think about how can you be found in AI. Two quick things. People always ask me, okay, Ford, before you go, we're not done. We got some really cool things coming in the next few minutes. They asked me what are my top 5. If I had to pick 5, now I have probably 45 things on my list, but these are my top 5 tools for those advanced people that want to go down the rabbit hole. HeyGen is what I use for video. 11 Labs creates audio that's exactly in my voice, and it's not AI detectable. If I put a script into 11 Labs, which also is connected to HeyGen, by the way, you can't tell it's not me. I can't tell. I'm Devin, did I record that? And she smiles like, no, I did it in AI. So it's kind of scary. Notebook LM is continuing to become one of my go-to tools where you can put all types of content and synthesize it, and it can create podcasts and help you consume. It can help you learn things. It's great. If you haven't ever played with it, you can go to notebooklm.google. Gamma.app can do PowerPoint and images faster and better than most of the programs, even though you can do images in ChatGPT and all the other ones. And of course, Canva. Now, even though I use Adobe Suite, we find our team going to Canva more often. And I've got other tools I use, but I wanted to cover just those basics. So let's go to robotic process automation. We're not spending a lot of time on that today. That's what we're going to be doing for those 2 days in Las Vegas, where we go deeper. But that's where your robotic process automation isn't just AI. It's using AI in the process. So for example, everybody who registers for the webinar automatically got put into Zoho. Everybody who registered went into a spreadsheet. Any company that had more than 3 people registered flagged them as a hot lead to send you some bonus materials in a book. Then it put it on the autoresponder. Like, it did all these different things. It went out to LinkedIn and connected. It does the whole thing for me. So robotic process automation is something where it really helps you do that. The next piece is digital assistants. Now, this is where the power is. This is where you take AI to the next level. If you have not created a digital assistant, and I mean a powerful one, then you're just missing the boat. Typing a prompt into any AI tool is a basic process, but digital assistants, some call them agents, we're going to get into that in just a second, are where it's at. So the challenge you have is every tool calls it something different. So in ChatGPT, it's called Custom GPT. In Perplexity, it's called Spaces. In Claude, it's called Projects. In Gemini, it's called Gems. And in Copilot, it's called an agent. What am I really talking about? I'm talking about the fact that I have custom agents for my podcast, for my book promotions, for media, for LinkedIn commenting, for YouTube optimization, for Schema Data. I have many digital agents. I have one for HR. So for those of you that might know my leadership style, it's delegate without details. And then sometimes I have a disaster, right? Don't clap for that. Don't yay for that. So as a leader, I create chaos constantly because I'm constantly, that's probably my team putting the smiles up there, everybody, just full disclosure. So what I did was, obviously I understand, leadership development. I've got my clients and colleagues are leadership experts. And so they said, well, you should have surveys and assessments. So we had workplace strengths, DISC profiles, and I think another one. And we had our team fill out the assessments. And then we loaded those assessments into a custom HR management GPT. And now when I go to create a meeting agenda, when I am consistent, I will go to that GPT and I will say, I want to have a meeting about my April event. It's April 10th and 11th. I need to make sure that I give clear details to my team so they get the right meeting room with a 12-foot ceiling and a 24-hour hold. And it needs to have this many people for roundtables, and I need AV. And it takes all of my data and it synthesizes it into a plan that I can then present to my team. Now, my team's listening right now and saying, that's just such. Okay, that's what I would have done in a perfect world. But no, what I did was I said, holy crap, everybody's doing AI summits. Everybody's asking me to do an AI summit. Every time I do a live event, they're like, can I work with you one-on-one? And I've got people on this call that have spent 50 grand, 15 grand to work with me one-on-one. So I decided what we would do is we would help them and create AI agents. So here's what I want to share with you right now. We're not done. We got 10 minutes left. So we're going to talk about this, and then we're going to cover some other bonus material. If you want to spend 2 days with me in a working summit for those that refuse to be replaced, overlooked, or left behind, check out profitrichresults.com/AI summit. It's going to be at the Paris Hotel here in Las Vegas. Registration is going to be Thursday night. The event's all day Friday, all day Saturday. That way you can come in on Thursday and you can depart on Sunday for travel and do this. What are you going to get out of it? Well, here are just some of the things that we're going to cover. In 2 days, we're going to replace up to 2 years of trial and error. We're going to actually do hands-on real assets and processes built live. This is not just training. It's bring your laptop, bring your iPads, bring your staff, and let's build it while you're there. It's going to help you be strategically positioned in an AI-dominated market, so we can help you, show you how to fix your Robots.txt file, build schema data, help you create the content in a format that's going to work, and create a custom agent with you to help you do that. And we're going to have repeatable frameworks that you can apply. So this is not a pitch fest. There's no upsell from this. This is live with me for 2 days in Las Vegas. So everybody always asks me, are we going to create agents? Can we actually just create the agent live? Yes. I'm going to show you the step-by-step process. We're going to do it live. We're going to do it on stage, and then we're going to do it live. So we're going to create the agents in the room. Now go to my website, go to profitrichresults.com, look at the store. I charge $10,000 for MindForge. I charge $7,500 to do a media agent. I charge $7,500 to do the next agent, the author agent. So those that are authors that are using their book and their content to repurpose their content. Well, at this event, we can create unlimited agents for you. And once you have the process, instead of me actually doing it for you, we're going to show you and your team members how to actually create your own agents. So imagine having an employee that's $60,000 to $100,000. It just works for you for free because you've trained it. So I can't stress that creating agents and workflows is so essential to your success. And yes, of course, you're going to have some of my famous hot seats. For those of you that are timid, you may not want to raise your hand for the hot seats, but hot seats are an opportunity for you to learn one-on-one case studies and real hands-on solutions around business. So even though it's the AI Summit, this is about accelerating your performance with business growth. How do you increase top-line revenue? How do you increase bottom-line profits? How do you improve performance? How do you make better decisions? And because I always attract a wide range of people, it's perfect for those that are new all the way up to those top producers who think they have it all figured out. I end up having C-level executives in the room. I end up having CEOs and CIOs in the room that are just interested in learning how to leverage these tools. It's 2 days with me, hands-on to do it. So I just can't stress it. I haven't done one since pre-COVID, so I decided I would do it. And so we're also going to show you how to leverage AI video and how to build an app without being a programmer. And you might say, well, why would I need to build an app? Well, maybe you're a business and you want to create a lead magnet. Maybe you're a business and you want to create like that AI quiz.profitrichresults.com was 100% created with no programming. I didn't have to program. And so if you have a process or a service that you use, now you can use AI to actually write an application that you can use internally with your staff, with your distribution model, or with your customers. You can use it to create lead magnets. So think about what could you create digitally that could engage your core prospects to help them know about your business, because the way people buy now is much different. People no longer purchase direct. They don't just, the old way. I've been in direct response marketing for decades, right? And I know how to do funnels and landing pages and marketing automation. And I've been a reseller for Go High Level and Infusionsoft and, Zoho and SharpSpring. And I could just keep naming tools all day long. But the tool is not the process. It's the strategy and the tactic to using the tool. And that's what we're going to look at. So not only are we going to look at, leveraging AI to do these things, if you've got a process that you're doing, this is your chance. The seating is limited. And I will tell everybody, because we got about 6 minutes left. I want to go to the last slide here. So for those of you that are here live right now, this is not on the landing page. The site just launched this morning, as my team did. I haven't even looked at the landing page. Yes, there'll be a video sales letter on the page. After we get done with this presentation, I'll create the video. But for those of you that attended this or that are watching the replay and made it all the way to the end, if you want to join me in Las Vegas, April 10th and 11th at the Paris Hotel, get registered. And if you use the coupon code AI Now, doesn't matter about the capitals, that gives you $500 off the ticket. And that's just for those people that are here watching this right now. You're not going to find that on social media. You're not going to find that promoted. That's for the people that took the time to register today, to spend time with me today on this live masterclass, and do that. So if you want to join me in April, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me direct. You can call my team. If you want to have a phone call with me, that's fine. I'm not going to do AI consulting for free over the phone, but obviously if you want to ask me if this is a good fit and how to do that. But all the details will be on that page. We're going to keep enhancing that page. You can also call if you're old school and you don't want to put your credit card into a secure processing online, just call my office and say, secure my seat. Go on LinkedIn and say, secure my seat. We'll send you a QuickBooks invoice and you're locked in. All right. So that is, we're 5 minutes ahead. Look at you, Devin. Devin, you gave me such great training to help me do this. Let's see what else I want to cover. Let's cover this last piece here. I think it's really important. So as you think about AI in your organization, and you think about it, Devin, I'm going to let you put in the chat what the link is. I'm sure you've probably already done that. I'm looking at a really small monitor here, everybody. So you can see me here with my two screens, but I have a small screen for my Zoom. So I'm looking straight in the camera. I can't read the chat. I'll have to move that in just a minute down to the, other camera. Let's switch the camera. There we go. All right. So what did we talk about today? Let's put this back up I want to cover this piece, then we'll wrap up and then I'll answer questions. So when you think about AI in your organization, these are the 4 levels. You can always better your best. Caution you, if you think you got this figured out, you don't. It's changing constantly. Level 1 are the large language models, conversational AI apps. Level 2 are the specialty industry apps. I showed you 5 of the ones that I like HeyGen, NotebookLM, 11 Labs, Canva, and so forth. Level 3 and level 4 is what we're going to cover at the conference. So that's where we're going to create your custom agents. We're going to create your AI workflows. We're going to show you actually how to create your own custom avatar, whether you want to use an avatar like I did here.
Hey, let me jump in for a minute. Yes. Hi, I'm one of Ford's AI agents. And no, I'm not.
Or whether you want to use your self-talking, which I have done before, where you actually record yourself, you create your own avatar, and then you can have your team create content for you. And I know what some of you are thinking. Well, you can tell it's AI. It's getting undetectable. So I would caution everybody here, just as a side note, make sure you have a safe word for you and your family, because there are so many AI scams right now. 3 seconds of your voice, I can clone your voice. I just can't caution you enough. Be careful what you see. This is me live, everybody. My music is still playing in the other room. And yes, I messed up and whatever. I didn't say an F-bomb yet, but I'm not planning on it. But this is live. Yeah, thanks everybody who's giving me that. So if you want to join me live, it's the AI Summit, April 10th and 11th at the Paris Hotel. And with that, congratulations, everybody. Now I'm going to leave that up on the screen right now. I'm going to move the Zoom off of that monitor. Let's go look at the questions. Hey, Devin. Hey, congratulations, Devin. Come on in. Everybody say hi to Devin. Hi, tell hi to everybody.
Hello.
Where's that baby at?
She's upstairs.
Okay. How old is she now?
She was 5 months yesterday.
All right. So she just had a 5-month-old and she's taking time to help me with this production. All right. So Devin, and she hates being on camera. So I'm going to catch all kinds of hell in a minute when we get off the call here today. So Devin, what questions do we have?
There are several in the Q&A.
All right. So let me just go to it. More Q&A. Okay. We got 12 of them. All right. So let's see what we got here. Is there anything you want to say before I pop you back off as a spotlight?
Nope, I'm good to go.
All right. Thank you. And don't give me any crap later for coming on the call. I'm going to catch all kinds of hell. You guys have no idea because she always tells me, do not put me on camera. But, I listen real well. All right. So here's the first question. Andy Newman. Hey, Andy. Haven't talked to you in a long time. AI can now organize your files, your emails, and downloads. There may be sensitive information. Is there a way to use these tools and protect yourself and clients from data leak? Yeah, Andy, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you set all your defaults up. And then when you set your custom GPT up, there's a setting that says, just use my data so it doesn't go out to AI and plagiarize and pull other people's content in, as well as sharing your data. What he's really talking about is connections, because now AI and AI agents can actually go read your email. They can actually leave AI and go to Google Drive. They can go to OneDrive. So what I'm suggesting organizations do is they segment and they have a safe space for their content. That I recommend that they have a safe space for AI training documents. So everybody who comes to the conference and we create all their training documents, I show them how to create a folder that way, no matter what AI tool they're using, they can connect it to it. So you're bringing up a good point, and you definitely want to be careful with that. Next, what tool did you say you used to verify your content? Becky, it's called Quillbot, Q-U-I, Devin. I think if you can put it in the chat, that'd be great. Quillbot, that's the one I use. Andy says, my website's 123 reg, which for me works against Google crawl and Schema Data. Had issues with Wix. Any recommendations for a lower end website to change to? Well, Andy, come on, lower end? That's not you, buddy. If it's the right Andy Newman, which I believe it is. What I would say, WordPress is still my dominant. People can argue all day long about the security of it and the plugins and all that. But from a content management system, for most people, it works great. Now, if you're an enterprise location, like I just spoke at a company that was $180 million and one was $18 billion, they're not using WordPress. Some are, but they're using their own proprietary. But the key is making sure that your content could be read by AI. Rigsby, okay. Hey, Ed. Schema markup coding. Let me say it's scrolling. Hang on. Word from chat lately is not working. Okay, so if you want to learn how to use Schema Data, you can go to AI and say, teach me how to use Schema Data. Obviously, you can hire Prime Concepts, my agency. We do it all for you. But if you want to learn it yourself, you can go to schema.org. There's tutorials up there. It'll tell you exactly what you can do. And then it can also check your website or your website pages to see what Schema Data that you have on that. Next, see where we're at. Robert. Hey, Robert. Can you list all the AI tools you recommend for creation, video editing, distribution, and give ballpark costs and ranges? Yeah, Robert Bagley, that would take another half an hour, but I will tell you this. I use Filmora. Wondershare. It's called Wondershare Filmora, Filmora, Filmora. I use Adobe Premiere too, but I use that. For repurposing content, we use Taja, T-A-J-A. Taja, and the work that Crystal on my team has done has now, I went from 1,500 subscribers a year ago to over 40,000 subscribers right now on YouTube using the AI optimization tools. And she did it all. So it's all Crystal. She gets all the credit for that. So I use those tools. I use Canva and I use Gamma. And then I use a lot of and HeyGen to create and repurpose the content. If you have video content like I do, I film every keynote. So I carry this with me. And you can do this if you're a corporation, not just a keynote speaker. But I have this little pack with me. And in it, I have 2 DJI cameras. They're 4K. It has a little microphone that clips on my lapel, and you can see it there. It also has a face tracking, so it can track me when I'm moving. And so I can set the camera up. And I also carry 2 lightweight tripods with me. So I just put the camera on top of the tripod. It's 6 feet high, so it goes above the people. And then I get 4K footage from all of my keynotes. So in Dubai, I did 4 presentations. I did the opening keynote on business growth acceleration. I did one on unleashing AI innovations. I did one on actually I did 4. I did one on winning the people game, how to find, attract, and keep top talent. And then we did one on local area marketing because I was there for a week and I said, hey, I'm going to be there for a week. So those other bureaus and people that have booked me, I don't normally just throw in extra presentations. But hey, you want to send me to another country? I'll speak for this as many days as you want for my main international fee. Oh, yeah, I got that on recording. I'm probably going to get screwed now on that. Screwed's a technical term. The camera is called DJI. It's an Osmo 3. Back up. Okay. Put it back up on the screen for just a second. So DJI, and it doesn't have the brand. Yeah, mine's called a Pocket 3. I think they came out with a Pocket 4 now. But I mean, these things are just, I used to try to use my phone and it's a mess, man. This thing, you can see it just works, and it's got face tracking. So if I set it up on a tripod, and what's cool is I set one at the front of the room, one at the back of the room, and with the face tracking at the front of the room, it follows me if I'm walking across stage, and then I wear my own microphone so I get good sound, or you can connect it to the house sound. But I tell you, and again, you don't have to be a speaker to do that. Maybe you're doing a demo for a client and you want to film it and you want to say, hey, we're going to give you this. Or maybe you're doing internal training for your team and you want to record the internal training and then turn it into videos. So AI can help you do all of those different things. All right. So Janice, hey, Janice, how do you fix the robots.t, Janice? You don't, Janice. I love you, but that's probably not something you should be doing. Talk to your web person, or you're going to have to call Prime Concepts, and we can help you do that, because you definitely want to have it fixed, because it's going to prevent you from being found. The Schema Data, Marcia, is schema.org. Next question is, do you buy each AI individually, ChatGPT, Grok? Yeah, Walt, you do. You whatever system and tool you're using, they all are trying to make money. They're all improving daily and weekly. So you're definitely going to want to pay for the subscriptions, but only pay for them monthly until you know you're going to use it. Is there a good AI agent to use to refine music lyrics? Well, I want to make sure that I understand the question. It's important to always diagnose before you prescribe. So I don't just want to throw out an answer for you. If it's the lyrics, Claude or ChatGPT. If you're actually creating sound, then I would use something like Gamma, or I use Filmora, because in Adobe and in Filmora, they actually have AI sound generation now. So I can say, I'm doing a talking head video, I want background music, and here's my script. It analyzes the script, and then it picks, is it epic, or is it informational, is it instrumental? The AI tools are just unbelievable. Taking it from a prompt to now audio and video and is just amazing. Next. Make sure you guys get registered. Again, it's going to fill out. I probably should put the coupon code back up. Let me find that. Okay, I'll put that up there. I'll leave that up on the screen. So if you want to save $500 and get registered, use AI now, because it will sell out. We had hundreds of people register for this event. The seating is limited because of the nature of the interaction, one-on-one time that you're going to spend one-on-one with me in the room. I have limited the number of people who can sign up for that Las Vegas event. Next question. Let's see where we're at here, Devin. Okay. Do I recommend any agentic AI tools? Example, vibe coding for building web pages, designing documents. Yes. So this is for Sharon. Oh, Sharon from Stephen Gaffney's office. Really, Sharon? So Sharon and her team from Stephen Gaffney are one of my high-end consulting clients. You have access to me. You don't have to come on my webinar and ask me this question. So the next time we're on a live call, Sharon, I'll show you how you can use Lovable.ai, and we can create some lead magnets for Stephen Gaffney. If you know Stephen Gaffney, those guys are on here. He's also a top speaker. But I use Lovable, but you can now use Claude. There's so many. They're coming up every day. There's a new one called Claude Bot, but not CLAUD. CLAD, like claw. Yeah, that's my visual for the day. Okay, next. Can you explain Robots.txt? Hank, what I would tell you is it's a piece of code that sits on your website. And by default, for years, and we built hundreds of websites, no one wants your website to be scraped by a bot. Well, now AI are bots. So what you're basically doing in the robots.txt file, it's a configuration file that sits on your website, is you're telling it to allow those different agents so that if ChatGPT comes, instead of blocking it, it's saying, hey, who are you? You're ChatGPT? Come on in. Oh, who are you? You're Perplexity? Come on in. So that's what robots.txt does. Next, what was the LLM mentioned that no proprietary information will be accessed? It's not, so Marla, it's not any specific LLM. It's making sure that whatever AI tool that you're using, that you set it up to not use your data. So it depends on the tool. So in ChatGPT, you're going to go to your profile in the bottom, data controls. So if you're watching this right now, I'm not going to show it live because I'm leaving this up on the screen. You would just go to your account, then you'd go to data controls, and then it's going to say use my data or don't use my data, and you turn that off. Next, Wanda, is there a way to move your data knowledge base from ChatGPT to Claude? Yes, there are tools now that you can put your data in and save it onto a drive. All the AI tools now are expanding beyond just their tool to where they can connect. It's called connections. So if you're using Claude or Perplexity or Copilot or Gemini or ChatGPT, they all now can connect to external sources and do that. Next, I checked my Shopify site with robots.txt and it shows a disallowing of a lot of things, mostly with a checkout not being a coder. I'm not sure if that's detrimental. Well, so Joanne, on your Shopify store, if you're trying to get traffic to your main pages of your store and AI can't find it, then I'm going to recommend that you really leverage your social media to make sure that you get found, so you can get referenced in Google Rich Snippets and get that traffic to you. Lastly, what app do you recommend to help in creating presentations for slides? Okay, Chris, here's what I use, and that's Chris with a K. Let me put this back up. Okay, we're here. I use Gamma. If you haven't played around with Gamma, GAMMA.app, Gamma is really kind of a cool tool. Now, I create all my own PowerPoint slides. They're proprietary. And you'll notice that most of my slides, especially my keynotes, now in a virtual presentation, I typically might have more words than on a regular presentation, because when you're presenting, you want to make sure that you're the focus, not your slides. So if you're a presenter and you're putting a bunch of text on your, I know that's not why you came today for this AI summit, or this AI event, but your visuals should support the message, not be the message. You're the center of attention. The focus should be on you. And the biggest thing is you cannot present to an audience and have them read at the same time that you're speaking. So if you have too many words on a slide, that's a big no-no, and I would say you need to improve your presentation skills. And of course, if you want to improve your presentation skills, you can check out Darren LaCroix's Stage Time University, because it's all about the presentation skills and the business side. And yes, I'm a faculty, and yes, I get a commission if you go there. But what I really want you to do is get your butt signed up for the Business Growth AI Summit. So as we wrap this up, that covered most of the questions that we had for today. Give yourselves a round of applause, everybody. Where's my button? I have to fix that button, Devin. So as we wrap this up, make sure you keep the human in the loop. Make sure you realize that training isn't something you did, it's something you do. Use AI to leverage your time, but remember that AI is to take redundant, repetitive tasks away so you can spend more time on the human experience. We talked about how you can implement it. We talked about tons of tools. We covered a lot in 75 minutes, only 75. Imagine sitting with me in 2 days in a hotel room in Las Vegas with your laptop, where we're working one-on-one on your business, on your role. So if you work for an organization, maybe you're the head of accounting, it's still a great event to go to, because we're going to look at how we can create workflows for you and keep all your data private. So that's it, everybody. I don't know how many people have signed up. I'll check out and we'll see. And maybe we'll take the registration page down, and we'll have to change the end of this because it'll sell out. But I hope you join me in Las Vegas. There's a lot of events right now on AI. Most of them are giving you overwhelm and gimmicks. This is hands-on. Get your real questions answered. All right, everybody. With that, thank you for participating again in another episode of Unleashing AI Innovations.